call a meeting to order of the Recreation Committee on Thursday, January 11th at 6:03 p.m. Members present, we'll start down the left-hand side.
Mary Anastasio.
Courtney Boudreau.
John Regan.
David Wold.
Mark Saint.
Cindy Carrier, COA Liaison.
And I make a motion to switch around the order to take care of a couple of one correspondence and to have the discussion of the master plan proposal and change the order around. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Everyone vote? We're good?
Aye.
All right. First thing, we'll start with, it's Frederick Solomon.
That's me.
Frederick wants, from what Mark says, Mark, I'll let you take that. Could you?
There was a request by an abutter of Central Street playing fields to use the parking space for a wedding on September 1st.
Yes.
Why don't you come up and introduce yourself, you explain it so I don't butcher
Hi.
it.
How are you? Hope everybody's well.
We're doing well.
Name and address for the camera for the record.
Fred Solomon. Frederick is the real name. I live on 64 Central Street in Byfield. We're going to have a wedding on September 1st. It's a Sunday. Yes, it's a Sunday, correct. And we really don't have enough parking at our house. There's going to be about 30 cars, and we were going to set up, maybe hire like an Uber driver or something to shuttle people back and forth from, if we could get permission to use that space. It's just 30 cars, probably. That'd be the absolute maximum. And that's it. Because, you can't really park on Central Street. That's a disaster. And my driveway, which is currently underwater.
As most people say.
So the canoes will go where?
Exactly. It's getting a little better. It's only like, oh my God, did you guys go down Scotland Road the other day? Little River was overflowing the road. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
I
digress,
digress.
but that's okay, we digress, that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's been bad.
So, yeah, that's what I was requesting.
I think Mark said that is a slow weekend or no weekend for soccer. And I think it's a great idea if we can at least keep, Mark said he was gonna remind me, and I was gonna remind him to keep, to not forget to let soccer know that we're gonna need 30 spaces. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
And it's just for parking, right?
Correct.
That is
Just
Labor Day
parking.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
There's
they
no
should be-
tournaments, right?
Yeah, no.
None that we have been historically,
Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
So it's a Sunday of Labor Day.
Yeah.
Where's the wedding?
At my house. We were gonna get a tent.
nice.
Can we come?
Come by.
Cool.
Yeah, just park at Manchester Street.
I like
If I get permission.
Parking for
31 spaces.
I don't live far, I'll walk. I like to meet good wedding. Cool. Fun.
Congratulations.
Bring this up for vote. I motion to allow parking for 30 spaces September 1st of this year. Anyone second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, let's just make the hours from like 8 in the morning to 8 at night, so there's no overnight parking.
No overnight.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's no overnight parking.
So, 8 in the morning
Could
to
we
8
get a
at night,
little
plenty of
bit
time.
later till like, 10 at night?
Sure,
Sure.
sure.
Easy like to hang
Yeah.
out a little longer, right?
Because
Oh, I'll be there.
I doubt we'll need it, but you never know.
Yeah.
Just so
Well, it
that
is a wedding,
you
it's
know, and then as time approaches, we can let the Newbury Police know. They're there intentionally, we've given them permission,
yeah.
so there's no
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah. We're all together now.
All right, so,
I didn't want to get arrested.
Yeah.
so we'll amend that to hours of what, 9 to 10 p.m., 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
9 to 10 sounds great.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we'll leave it at that. All
Thank
in
you so
favor?
much.
Yep, aye.
All right, done deal.
Congratulations.
We're good?
Do I get any, like, written, or this is just,
It's in the minutes.
It'll
It's
be
in
in
the
the
minutes.
minutes, and I can draft something up for you to have.
thank you so much.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you.
can I be dismissed?
Yeah.
Thank you. Have
Next
a good
on the,
evening.
next on the agenda, Chris Huntress is going to give a presentation on the master plan for the fields.
Let me turn this a little bit, I apologize if it's the back anyway. Is that me? My apologies.
Oh, I can,
Welcome,
I can
Sarah.
scoot on over.
Can everybody see that okay? Okay.
No.
Thanks for having us. I want to check the camera before I go.
Yeah, I think.
I think you need to be slightly forward.
All right, we're good.
Good.
Good?
We're good.
Yeah, it's a little glary, but it's fine.
Okay, thank you. My name is Chris Huntress with Huntress Associates and Huntress Sports, we're landscape architects. We've had the good fortune to work on this property over the years. We did the original design for the athletic fields when they were Mantor Fields back in the day. We've been around 2001, 2002, I think. And then we've recently completed a master plan. We were able to work in the basketball courts last year as well. So we've had a couple of public meetings. We've had a site walk with the group. I'm just going to run through the overall scope first, and then I'll do a brief on the plan, and then we can answer any questions that you may have. But we, in December, submitted a final copy of the master plan, which hopefully you have, and I can give you more copies if you need them. And the scope included a review of the existing fields, parking, and walkways, existing multi-purpose sport court, that's the basketball court that we built last year, ADA accessibility requirements, opportunities for canoe launch, boardwalks, bridges, and vista locations, permanent walking trail around the athletic fields, tot lot playground opportunities, electric vehicle charging stations, bike rack and bike repair station, opportunities for public art, volleyball court placement, and the opportunities for shade structures and canopy options. So this master plan, this written master plan, includes an overview of all of that. It talks about what products are available to you, what the relative cost might be from a range of magnitude, depending on the products and scale and size that you choose. And it goes through each one of those categories independently and gives a small write-up and cost analysis in the report itself. I have an extra copy here if anybody would like it. On the plan, and I can leave these behind as well, the last time we were here we presented a similar version of this, but some of the things that have changed since that time, which really came out of our site walk, included the addition of acknowledgement of the hiking trail that goes here over to Triton. That comes down through the woods. We went out and found that and photographed it, and there's a small bridge in this location here that probably needs some repair work. We added a volleyball court and some overflow parking along the end here, which interestingly enough was really the intent of the original design back in 2001. And for most parts it's there. There's gravel under some of that scrub grass that's back there. It wouldn't take more than a split rail fence and maybe a gate here so that could be opened at certain times when you may need it, and otherwise closed to minimize access around the back.
Excuse me, just for a second, may I interrupt? Would it be okay if Phil and I sat at the chairs right here?
Oh, absolutely not. Go ahead. Absolutely, sorry, absolutely not. Please do, sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah, you get a better.
Keep it like
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly. Yeah, no.
Thank you very much.
I can recap briefly, but just for everyone's orientation, Central Street here, main entry drives coming in, the existing facility building is here,
Field house, yeah.
basketball court here. So the parking we had talked about, and volleyball courts are all back here at the far end of the field, and then they proceed down to and connect to the old runway, which comes down to the low point down by the Parker River. So the trail that went off to Triton is here. The bridge is right here. That was added to the plan. The other part that was added to the plan is really this continual loop that comes around on this side here. And there's an opportunity for the walking paths. Walking paths are designated by these blue dots that kind of march their way around the site here. But the trail heads off in this direction, comes through this kind of open field. There's an opening in the woods here and turns into a path that comes along rather a steep slope here, out to the opportunity for a vista or overlook down on this portion of the site, and then you could wrap back up, and you could continue back up this way and into the trail. We talked about the opportunity to cross a portion of the wetland system here with a boardwalk to get over and link to the kind of create a loop, if you will, that would link back into that network. So we've shown that now. And again, we've added a lot of detail when it comes to the cost, and we've given the written write-up on what all of these improvements are. So I'll leave this extra copy for you guys.
Would
And I'm
you
happy to
would you
take
take the
questions.
same surface for the whole walking trail, or when you get in the woods, you just go to a,
So you have options when it comes to the walking trail surfaces. ADA requires a compact, stable surface, which can include stone dust, and often does in a lot of park and trail settings. Occasionally, those stone dust trails need work, and because they get washed out. And so some other options include asphalt surfaces, concrete surfaces. Wood chips are not really considered accessible anymore. So my guess would be that this path that surrounds the main body of the soccer fields would likely be a dedicated path, a constructed path, either of stone dust or of asphalt. As you get off in here, I'm not sure that I would recommend that you make these out of asphalt or even stone dust, because they're really natural trails right now that, and your accessibility, if you can make the field accessible in the walkway that circumnavigates around that, it provides an opportunity to start and end at accessible parking. You've got bathrooms and other facilities there, so that's, that loop is an important trail to consider for accessibility.
there's no ADA requirement that the whole path would have to be ADA compliant?
Not through the
woods, yeah.
woods and trails here. ADA accessibility through trails is a difficult discussion. It's continuing to evolve, because there are some realities of not being able to go in and meet the criteria for slope, which are less than
I was
5%.
gonna say, the slope's gonna be bad anyway.
The
yeah.
slope would be bad, it would change the character significantly. And I've never seen a state or federal government come in and require somebody like yourself to make every trail accessible. Certainly accessible parking, accessibility to the main features on the site. The loop, I think, would be a really nice feature to add.
What do you think that distance is, the loop, just rough?
A little over a quarter mile,
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a track.
yeah. Probably a little more, probably not quite half a mile, but
Yeah, I think it was like, when I walked it, I think it was a little shy of a half mile.
yeah.
There's already a pretty paved forged trail, like where you're talking about
Through the woods, yeah.
already.
There is.
There's a beaten path there.
A beaten path is a good, yeah.
Yeah, this trail-
People do use it.
This trail exists, with the exception of the boardwalk that wraps here. This trail kind of comes back up and ties into itself here. So this would be new, but the rest of it.
So it would be
does exist.
completed so that you could essentially go all the way around.
Yeah.
The idea was to try and make a loop through here and get across, and we've shown you options for what those boardwalks may look like. You've got options for how you might build those.
And then the one to Triton, so, because there's the bridge that sounds like it needs repair, which we already knew, and then it keeps going, like all the way to the campus, but it's super marshy and
It is.
there's already like wood, a
There's
semi
pallets.
boardwalk there.
Yeah.
So that's a
It gets
conversation you're
overgrown,
gonna wanna
so-
have with your conservation commission, because you
Okay.
are traversing some wetland resource areas down there. The bridge, the trail is for the most part on mown area through here. It hits the bridge, I'd say just before you, well, there's the tree line there. So just as you come through that tree line, you'll hit the bridge here, and then it goes into a little bit of an open meadow, and it does get wet back in there. The bridge itself is probably no longer than that table. And
It's
it does,
6 feet, temporary.
right now it is. If you were to rebuild it, it would probably get a little bit longer as you put.
Yeah, we've already
footings on
had
either end and that kind of thing.
General plans for that, yes.
Good, okay. But a bridge down there would significantly improve accessibility for.
Do you have
even
a
able
copy
to-
of this electronic?
I do, and I've sent that in as well,
Okay.
and I'm happy to send it again. So, this is the overall master plan, and I can leave these boards behind for you guys as well. Some of the things when we talked about outdoor classrooms or bike racks, bike repair stations, public art, boardwalks. We wanted to give some ideas of what those might look like. We're not necessarily suggesting that you would build this and this or this, but that you would have options to choose. And each one of those comes with a cost, so understanding those is important as well. But this kind of helps people understand kind of what the vision is, what the opportunities are on site. And then finally, the plan where we spent a little bit more detail was on the tot lot. And this plan highlights, we're looking right now right down here by the basketball court, right behind the basketball court. So this wall, this heavy line here would be the retaining wall that wraps around the backside of that new basketball court. So the tot lot or playground would really be a long, skinny tot lot right up here. We have the walkway that comes over, a new walkway that would come over from the field house, and then a shade structure here. Kind of trying to create this core area right at the entry where you can arrive with your kids, and families can arrive, smaller kids go on the playground, bigger kids go out to play. And there's places for people to sit. It's all accessible, and really becomes a bit of a hub. So this would have play equipment for kids from 2 to 5 and then 5 to 12, kind of all stretched out through here. We've shown this with a rubber surfacing, which would be fully ADA compliant throughout the body. This is as big as I would want to see you put a tot lot out there. It's pretty big. You could start with it in phases. You could scale it down. You could scale it up. You could change the design. But from a master plan perspective, we've done work similar and scaled the size for this, so it was helpful to be able to put some budget numbers together for you and include that in the master plan as well.
I just have one question. Is rubber surface now ADA compliant?
It is.
Okay, so that's kind of a must-have.
Yeah, wood mulch is no longer considered ADA compliant where it used to be. But because it doesn't get maintained and it gets worn out on playgrounds pretty quickly in the low areas. So that was a change that occurred in the last couple of years.
Okay.
Is there any blowback on rubber?
I'm sorry?
Any blowback on rubber, like it's dangerous or
There's all kinds of
used
blowback.
tires?
Anything you do,
No,
there's gonna be
well, no,
complaints,
it's
yeah.
just legit, like that's not a sure thing that's gonna go without
No,
complaint.
what he's thinking is that maybe a section that they can do their pickleball, so I think they're.
No.
Sorry,
No,
I'm
that's
not.
That's over there.
I understand your question, and we deal with it a lot. And there is, in that rubber surfacing, it's shredded rubber, often tires, and it's bound in polyurethane. So people do have concerns occasionally about it. The off-gassing and chemicals that can come out of it are very little because it's all encapsulated. And as long as it's properly maintained, it doesn't disperse.
And the proximity to the river wouldn't,
No.
it's far enough away.
No, you wouldn't.
Because the bike trail coming up from Georgetown, that's an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
The paving around the Park River.
There are other products than a poured in place rubber, but most of them have rubber in some component to it. I know that there are panelized systems like rubber tiles that you can go in and put them down in pieces, but again, we're talking rubber in almost all of those.
Yep.
The other alternatives are there are some natural surfaces. They still include polyurethane as a binder to try and get that resiliency and hold it in place.
And I will say, I'm probably gonna jinx myself for tomorrow, but, like, kids fall on it all the time and it doesn't rip them up as much as, like, wood chips
Asphalt,
would,
or, yeah.
I think it's nice.
Yeah, there are different types of
Bring
rubber
extra
you can get.
Band-Aids.
There's SPR rubber, which is ground tires, and what they do is they strip out all the radial steel that might be in there so it's clean. And then there's what's called EPDM rubber, which is a manufactured rubber that's not part of a car tire. And so they can control that a little better. It's twice as expensive as if you spec, you can spec the EPDM rubber. It becomes very, very expensive. So there are options out there. We're happy to walk you through those when you're ready for it.
Is there any cost savings in scale, like if we do all the pieces, it would be less expensive than if we did it in stages?
Yeah,
Not so much the
certainly,
tot lot, but the entire master plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to build the entire master plan at one time, but there's always savings the more you can lump together, just from mobilization and demobilization cost and kind of efficiency costs, if you will, of doing more at one time and going back and forth. So yes,
Would you anticipate one general contractor for the whole project?
yeah, this
Yeah.
is all what is considered site work, which is publicly bid under Mass General Law, Chapter 3039M. And there's a number of good site contractors who have worked with the town before that would qualify at this level. And
So if we did, cost-wise, because cost is gonna be the major factor here. If we had that basic footprint and we couldn't afford to do everything, could we scale back and do a certain amount of those things and then later on come in and put,
So for example, if we
you're talking
didn't
about just on
wanna,
the playground?
Yeah.
yeah, so for example, I'm just calling out what's here, if there's a balance beam. Let's just say we didn't wanna do that today, but we wanted to put it in at another time, but we wanted to put the climbing play structure. I'm just using that
Yeah,
as an
yeah, yeah,
example.
yeah.
Just for a visual, it's
Yeah.
like, is there a way to,
If we, could we do stuff post it's all done?
You could. What's difficult with these structures, all of these structures have steel pipes and concrete footings
Yep.
that go through. So what I couldn't do is, say, put the rubber surface all the way in the way it's shown here, but only put this structure in, because I'd have to rip out part of the rubber structure later
put
to
there.
put that,
Okay.
to put that structure in, and you couldn't put the footing in now and come back with
Okay.
the balance of it later. But what you could do is, depending on how you deal with this edge, we could use a timber, heavy-duty landscape timber edge. We could, say, create a timber edge right here, which would be easy to remove and expand
Okay.
the entire playground or top lot at a later time and blend it in. You'd probably wind up, you're gonna have to come in and maintain that top coat of the rubber every, say, 5 to 7 years. You're gonna wanna come in and apply new color and polyurethane so that would be the time to come back and expand the top lot and then recoat the whole thing at one time.
if we, so the proximity of the tot lot with, field number, what is that,
12.
does that mean that 2 is out of access?
Right here?
Yeah,
No,
No,
I wouldn't think so, because, most of the play is going in this direction, the tot lot's here. We can fence the tot lot, we could put up taller screening if you wanted it off the edge of the field. I don't see this
I'm just thinking
location.
like during construction, if you will.
Oh, during construction, we'll just put, construction fence around it. And we'll limit the contractor to how he comes in and out, but the field is far enough away that I wouldn't be worried about that.
So we're not anticipating any impact to any participatory schedules that we may have for either field 2 or the basketball courts, i.e. pickleball courts.
No, it depends on what you finally choose to build, but you could install, this walkway exists as it comes up here now. This front porch exists. It's really the extension of the walkway down through here, the shade structure in the top lot. All of that could be built with this property in full use. And quite frankly, much of it would be happening during daytime hours when there's probably less use happening.
Yeah.
Early morning to say, we can tell them that they have to be out by
Like
2
3,
or
4
something.
o'clock.
And then that's, so no, I think you could do it much in the same way that we coordinated the work for the basketball court. There was no conflict there.
Perfect, thank you. I didn't anticipate, but figured I'd ask.
Good
When
question.
you mentioned about the resealing on a arbitrarily 5-year plan, how expensive is that typically?
It depends on the products that you use and how much of surfacing you're gonna do, but it's, that's a couple of $1,000, $3,000 to $5,000 to go in and kind of do a resurfacing on a small area. The overall installation of the rubber is what's expensive, and it's because it's a 4-inch thick rubber pad. The resurfacing of just the top depends on the size of the area and how much color you're doing, but it's less expensive.
And with the playground units that incorporate 4 or 5 elements, the slide, the climbing component, and perhaps a swing, are they able to come in units so that one part is damaged the whole unit is not, like if the slide is damaged,
To a
we
certain
have to
extent, yes.
And how difficult is it to replace parts?
So, it can be difficult. If the manufacturer is standing here in front of you, you can say, absolutely, we can swap out pieces later. The reality of, I've been doing this now for 30 years, the reality of trying to go back and fix a playground that's 10 to 15 to 20 years old,
Exactly.
or replace a piece, a lot of the codes have changed. A lot of the product line that they do, because they'll theme their playgrounds and they'll design them in a certain way, all of a sudden they won't be making this slide anymore when you need
Right.
that slide. So you may have to either have an extension built off of that with, say, a larger landing that would then allow you to put a new slide on, a different slide. So it can be difficult to find replacement pieces for this. So my recommendation to you is have an annual inspection, have somebody go out here so that when something breaks, you know it, you get it fixed right away and you're on top of it. If you let 4 or 5 years go by, then you may not even remember who the manufacturer was.
I know Newburyport recently created a position, trained one of their DPW people to be the inspector of all their equipment. I'm wondering if that's something that we would want.
That's a certified playground safety instructor.
Yeah, if we could partner with them or if we need to do it ourselves. Because we do have 3 now in town.
Yep.
And if we were to include this, 3 now in town, that would make,
One's got danger tape all around it. though.
Yeah, the selectmen knew about that, they had a problem with,
Parts.
Parts.
well, when I did this in another community, that was the big problem, is something got broken and the only way to replace it was to replace the whole thing. So they went with, we're gonna have 5 different freestanding elements. So if one went down, the whole unit wasn't disrupted. And you could just sit there and 4 other items were available. Remove that so that it wasn't a
Yeah,
distraction.
a lot of it comes down to what playground manufacturer you select from. You select from, say, Landscape Structures, they're a very large, nationwide manufacturer. I would say you're gonna be much more likely that you're gonna find a replacement part for that. If you go with somebody who's smaller or more regional, and there's plenty of them, I won't throw anybody under the bus, but it'll be harder to find pieces. So you wanna understand who the company is you're buying from, and make sure that they're gonna be around in 20 years, that they've got enough of a product line that they're gonna still maintain some of these pieces for you in the long term.
Is the top lot, fenced in, or is that something that we talk about, or?
I think we talked about that last time.
We haven't shown a fence yet. I would recommend a fence over, all or parts of it.
Yeah.
You don't have to by code, so that's a
Yeah.
decision that you guys can make. when you-
DPW suggested we did do something as a fence, that we would build it in such a way they could
Trim it.
trim it.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. So if we did a post and rail fence going around it, which would keep the kids somewhat contained, and then it would give us the option of putting a couple of posts up to keep a net of some sort in season, the crossballs from heading over.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the best, cheapest solution.
So any kind of fence is not included in the estimate then?
I'd have to look at the estimate. So I tended to give you a range. I
Yeah.
would say at the high end of that range, yeah, there's a fence included.
Okay.
At the low end, probably not.
Yeah, the fence we did for the basketball court was not expensive.
No, that fence was
Well,
there to
it's
keep
it's a
somebody
safety, I mean,
from running off.
safety
Yeah.
is expensive.
Yeah.
With the basketball court, it was the kids chasing after that errant ball right
Yeah,
into
yeah,
the parking
right,
lot,
yeah.
so.
Oh, we also had a wall here with a drop.
Yep.
So we didn't want somebody
Yeah.
running along like this and looking back. Any other questions?
No, this is perfect.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Well, I can get you more copy, I can send over the electronic
Yeah,
copies.
if you send me
Yeah.
your
I don't think there's any reason to, yeah.
You need the electronic,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I can leave these boards with you. Certainly, they're,
Yeah,
good to
'cause-
put up for display and you're welcome to.
Yeah, because we were looking for that, the front, just to give us a roadmap for the future rec committee members. that Mark would be in charge of.
And we're not far away, we're only in Andover, so when you're ready for, another question or want us to look at another piece, we're through this area all the time, so I'm always happy to stop in Newbury and say hello again. So,
Cool, thank you so much.
thank you.
All right.
Let's get on with the meeting. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Chris,
you.
thank you again for that.
My pleasure.
You're gonna make your other meeting tonight?
I am, thank you.
Excellent.
Perfect.
All right, let's try to get back
I
on,
make a motion to return back to the order of the agenda, returning to the approval of previous minutes.
second. Any question? Vote on that one, all in favor? All right, we're going back in. So, next thing is approval of previous meetings minutes. I don't know if everyone got a chance to read them. I know that there was one thing that John was not present, but he's on the list, right?
Yeah, so I make a motion to accept the minutes with the addition that removing John's name as present.
And while we're still discussing this, are there any other corrections that anyone found? Okay.
I think the adjournment time was wrong.
What did I say?
It's quick.
It's quick.
6:30 or something.
No, it was not.
I would've come.
No, it was
I
6:30.
think I'm sick for that.
It was 6:30. It was definitely 6:30. It was our record, but it was, I think I come in second place. We had one that was shorter, and that was a full meeting too, so. All right, Mark, go ahead with your amendment on that. You wanted to,
Just approve
Make a-
as amended.
Yeah,
yeah.
as amended, yeah.
Second.
Second on that, any questions? Or, all approved of the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yep. Yeah.
All right, done. All right, next thing is correspondence.
We already took care of Mr. Solomon's request.
Is it Frederick?
Frederick, yes.
Okay. Is there any other correspondence that anyone?
Going back to that, is there a way you could just put a note in my rec?
I'm sure there is, for Sunday,
For
September
that,
1st.
yeah.
I'm sure I can.
Somehow put in 30 parking spaces and let them know, but, yeah, we just have to remember to let the police department know, because you never know, someone might be there, leave their car all night long, and as long as the police know
In the
that.
interest of safety, yeah.
Yeah. That's done with correspondence, bills and claims. Any?
So the last time I checked was last week, I didn't see any, and unfortunately I didn't have a chance to check this
Okay.
week.
That
So-
sounds perfect.
You know what we do need, kind of on the same topic, is that the dumpster's full, like overflowing full.
Is it locked?
No, it's
No.
wide open today.
Okay.
The question I put out.
I will call, but the idea is DPW, we're gonna have this problem going on.
Yep.
We can remove it, that means DPW will have to take their trash from cleaning out.
Right.
Dog walkers are gonna most likely leave their bags there.
Yes, right where the dumpster would have been, right.
Yeah, you know, they're doing, and when I've checked it in times past, the dumpster is being used appropriately for dog waste.
And it was.
Probably like 2 weeks ago, I looked at it and I was surprised at
Yeah.
how much, it's like, I don't think we can go a whole 5 months without a lift every once in a while.
So it's just dog waste, it's not.
No,
there was
no,
like
there's like
household-
Christmas
like
decorations,
Christmas
like
yeah,
just
there's a-
random stuff.
There's a pretty good Santa Claus on there, right?
That was a
Yeah, it's
snowman.
Snowman, yeah.
He's crushed, but
Yeah.
he's
So-
in there now.
So was I, because I would have taken him home.
I'll retrieve it for you. Yeah, I will call her.
Call it a rescue snowman.
I didn't know such knowledge of the
It'll be
dumpster.
a
Such a
Christmas movie.
We were there.
Cindy and I had a conversation, standing by it, which is like disgusting when you think about it.
We're wrapping up the conversation.
So I have locked that before. I bought a lock back in the day and I put it on it to lock it, and I think it worked for a short
Yeah,
period of time.
if it's got a chain, you know, then, and they can just lift the corner.
Just enough for the dog walkers.
It's-
It's
Yeah.
good you have those the corner, because the
They used to be able
cap,
to,
is it's bent, so there is a 6-inch gap.
Yeah,
That would make it, I don't use the word impossible, but very difficult for people to stuff household trash, large items.
And there's
I will
actually still a
say-
snow plot, there's still a snow bank there, which I think is a barrel in it, so someone.
I do
really
think there's
did
someone's
it.
barrel in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
but also the snowman was there on Monday, and after the snow melted, someone put him in a dumpster,
Yeah.
so whoever initially
That's
dropped
true.
him off
You think is maintaining?
was not using the dumpster,
Huh.
it was in there now.
Interesting.
But the
Yeah.
doors were wide open, so.
I will leave another email just so it's hard copy to them, and if you wanna call, feel free, but I have found that, emails have, it's written down, and we asked to do that.
Okay, pickup is typically Wednesday for Byfield, so we have to be probably next Wednesday.
That's fine.
Probably a different truck though.
Are you calling?
I'll come out.
I will, let DPW know. And ask them, you're not gonna ask them to change it, right? We're gonna ask DPW to put it.
As TP, no,
Yeah.
Mello won't change
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
we
yeah,
just,
no,
you know, we're on suspended service
Okay.
with on-call
Okay.
options.
awesome.
Because the other thing would be just cut a little 3-inch hole in the cover.
Yeah, I think they need,
I don't
yeah,
think
it's in
the
the
opening's right there.
Yeah.
It's enough, it's enough.
Yeah.
There's enough
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Not enough for snowman?
Not enough for
First thing,
snowman, but that would.
If it melts,
He's crushed.
you know, these are
Could
archived
slide him in.
for about 100 years, the discussion of the snowman, that will be,
Will live on.
yep, recreation committee. All right,
What do you think of the Newbury Facebook?
yeah, they'll end up in that too. And they should be working hard when they're talking about snowmen and the dumpsters, well, I can put up with that. All right, so, that was bills and claims. Application for fields, court, field house or other. Parking request has been taken care of. Anything, anyone?
There have been, no additional requests since our last meeting. That was, lacrosse, no requests, and then Jen had reached out and wanted to know if, what was discussed at the meeting, and I just emailed her back and said, you know, the deadline to apply has not passed yet, and so once it does, then we'll let everybody know, but they're the only ones so far. When is the deadline?
off the top of my head, it's in mid-January.
Is that in the,
It should be on the,
Yeah.
well, it may be two different things, but it should be on the,
So to be
Website.
clear, should I be requesting my time for pickleball starting June
This is for
1st?
fields.
yeah.
It doesn't matter about the basketball court?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, we haven't set up a policy with that yet.
I just
yes.
don't wanna miss any deadline.
No.
No. I think yours is probably gonna be like a standing,
Spring season
But-
opens
And
December
June.
1st. Applications need to be in by January 15th, according to our playing field
Okay.
permit.
When that's been approved, then, as of this, what was it, September they approved it? When was the approval date of that? It should say on the front page of that document.
2017.
That's the most recent thing.
This is, well,
There are
we
two
we
things-
talked about that we have two out there, but this is one of the ones that's out there. I don't know if we need it on the agenda to discuss.
Yes, we do.
But, and
Next
then
meeting.
there's one for April
oh yeah.
last year of 2023, and that was approved by the board on April 11th. We approved it the 3rd, but the reservation process is on page 3. And this is slightly different. It doesn't have, it's almost like these should be melded, in my opinion.
we,
Melded.
At one point they were. Mariah did that decades
it's a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it would have been 2017. It would have been 6 years ago. Because that's the date of this.
No, we were
That's one
working,
document.
yeah,
It didn't
so,
have- The
yeah.
first document didn't have the basketball court and the
The field house.
field house
yeah,
stuff.
so everything's been sort of a work in process as time's gone on. We-
Understood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so initially we're
I think
working
we
on the
just need
fields.
to revisit
All right.
probably both of these documents and speak with legal.
Yes.
Ensure that which elements are omitted from the 2023 that are important guidelines, like that date itself is not in the 2023
Okay.
document. So in some ways you need both.
We need to update both
We need to
Documents are made-
consolidate
both
into
documents
one.
into one
Into one,
document.
We need to
yeah.
consolidate
So-
into one.
It's legal in a way that the 2017 focused on the fields, and that's what we're talking about, is focus on the fields.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so, yeah,
There's, I don't think, we just have to, I think we just have to,
do a master instead of two separate.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both linked on, if you go on the website, they're both linked, they're obviously called different things.
Yep. And we'll approach that next meeting.
So the document that's playing field and facility permit policy, which is what we're talking about, it says January 15th is the spring session. So that's expressly
I
called
mean,
out there.
And
I,
that,
I don't know if this is just like splitting hairs, she requested it earlier than December 1st, does that matter?
It's more, the idea behind all this is, it's not a first come, first served.
Right, yeah,
That we have an opening date, that just because you put it in earlier than somebody doesn't mean, even with the criteria, doesn't mean you get special preference. That this is, we have to have an opening time for them and a closing time, and that's important.
But you're asking, is it okay because she did it before the
For-
opening?
yeah, like in
it's-
terms of,
We can accept it,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
but we can't act on it.
yeah, so the next meeting, the reason that the 15th is there, so that we have like supposedly a stop dead, but that always fluctuates too.
Right.
But at least gives us the February meeting to talk about it and make a decision on it.
Right, because permits are supposed to be issued March 1st.
Yeah.
And it does look
Yes,
as
and-
if summer and fall season all have the same
Deadlines.
opening.
Yes.
Different deadlines, but same open.
Yeah, December 1st, correct.
Yep.
And that was so that people who are looking for access to the property for summer camps, which is one of the reasons, selling points for the field house itself. I know when I'm involved in camps, we're usually filled by beginning of February. And if they can't even put out registration, because we are not responding until May 1st, they can't, assure their clients that there's a place to be. So opening up first and then the 15th, and that way we're done until the fall.
Can you clarify why you wouldn't consider basketball court to be a field?
So when this document was created?
Yeah, it
in
didn't
20
exist, yeah,
It didn't exist.
Yeah, it didn't exist, and then what happened was, obviously, we put in the basketball court, so because we did the basketball court, and at the same time, we had the field house, but then the whole COVID thing, and we still hadn't, there was a whole discussion on what to do with the field house and how to use it. And whether we were gonna let someone else sort of manage it, it was back and forth on that. So what happened was the second document came out and we said, okay, let's try it, let's do the basketball court. And I don't think the basketball court, I know that the pickleball has sort of worked into it, but I think that, post-COVID and then people starting to sort of, maybe start to do leagues or playing, that basketball, which we were trying to figure out, one of the selling points to the town was to say, hey, we can, do leagues here and, sort of bring in income that way. So I think that's still a future hope. So that, it hasn't happened yet, but.
But where it says facility, I think that would be considered a,
Yeah,
I think,
I think by getting together in a month and just talking about it and then meld the two together.
just tweak the
Yeah,
language.
and have the language so that it's,
Yeah, because to me, it's the same.
Yeah.
And I think the difference between the two, and it's not even a pickleball thing, it's just, that's a basketball court. I don't think we're gonna have requirements for, well, I guess we would, if it was a league, privately run, privately making money, then we'd want insurance and.
yeah,
Same-
same as we do for the other thing. And there would be.
But we don't have and again, I just, in anticipation of this, where we're gonna wind up with this, is I think it's common on tennis courts, pickleball courts, whatever, that you wanna reserve a court,
Yeah.
which would be a piece of the
Right.
basketball facility, and you wanna do it without liability insurance and there's some kind of.
And that's actually here, John.
Is it? Good.
On page 4 through 6. So we
We saw that for basketball? or
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, excellent,
yeah,
yeah.
so it's here,
Yeah, no, I've seen those, yeah.
Two things.
but
There are actually a
it's
couple
almost like
it's cumbersome because it's two different.
Yeah.
there's like, I think this is the document to go with, and then just incorporate whatever's missing
Yep.
from this into this.
At
Yeah.
one point there was, and going through this 50 times, things got put out. And we were focusing on different aspects. We could take care of that.
Do you have an electronic copy of it?
I have versions of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is,
So
Mariah.
what I did was I just downloaded it from what's
Yeah.
available to
Yeah.
the public that we published.
Yeah.
PDF to doc. kind of?
And PDF to doc. If you want, I can do that for everyone from the
Please.
whatchamacallit.
Yeah,
And
that's-
email it out, and that'll be my homework. And then that way we're working with what the public sees, and then we can.
And then we can get rid of one because at one point there was conflicting information about the document I'm looking at with the start date. One of the things that on there is, I was just looking at the start dates, I believe are not consistent.
yeah, because we had a
Yeah,
discussion
but-
about changing start dates and,
I didn't see any, when I, and it, maybe I'm wrong, but when I looked at this, I didn't see anything that was glaringly out of line. It was more, this document has the start date, and this one
Doesn't,
doesn't
yeah.
actually have it.
Right.
yeah.
So it's
And-
almost like little like you need both, but if you move them over, then we'll be good.
Okay, let's back up for a second. Regarding the fields come in at a particular time. There's a starting date for the applications.
Mhm.
When this was written, the basketball courts and any other facility we put in that people want to rent was part of the facility, so that as we add things, if somebody wants to rent, if we go forward and we have a playground, we want to use that for a party, it could fall under that category. It's very, very general. The other thing with the basketball court, there's just one of them. And there was concern about one organization, one individual, taking it every day from 3 to whatever. There are 5 fields, and if one organization wants to rent 5 fields every day during the season, that's gonna be quite costly. Where the basketball court was a more reasonable price. We are looking to have some Triton youth basketball to perhaps utilize this resource as a paying,
We had that one group that was.
but there is, and people will speak in, it is public property.
Mm.
So there, the enforcement of it, we need to find a mechanism. If it's a regular group that comes in on Tuesday nights at 4:30, that becomes problematic, because that means other people don't get to utilize it.
Yeah, that's coming down
That's
to
the
permits, so if they pay, they get a permit, they have, and I think that's probably written there somewhere, they have first right to use it.
Correct.
All right, so let's plan on, next meeting, going glassy-eyed and getting the two together.
And if prior to the meeting, just print it, review it.
Yeah, and if you see anything that,
I'll
yeah,
get mine.
yeah, and if it seems fairly easy to, let's say, add page 15 to the newest document and everything works, we'll go that way. And then we can present it to legal. I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
and then if that works out, then we can get rid of the old and then we have to change it again for the walking trail, because someone may want to rent the walking trail. If we ever get that done, so.
But in terms of the courts, priority is given to town entities, so.
No, I know that, I just wanted to make sure that I'm following the rules.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that I'm
Yeah,
putting my
yeah.
request in at the right time, that's all.
All right, new business. Any new business that we want to tackle at 6:54 on Thursday night?
Did we finish with old business?
No, you want to go over it? That's-
Oh, is
that's
that
for
for next?
Order
Okay,
of
yeah,
business.
I put it that way because
Okay.
because we wanted to, I was thinking we'd have more time for the master plan update, so rather than stick that in the middle and have it go before I got your information,
3 hours and not get to anything else. New business, there wasn't anything brought up.
Okay,
So it'd be new business, nothing, move on.
all right. Updates on old business. Ping pong update?
Ping pong just started this week, so it's a little slow roll.
Wait a second. I thought we've had ping pong for a while.
No, we started, and so we ended,
Cindy's started.
we ended,
Tables have been available since December with no.
yeah, but I did
access yet.
I did our program as of January
Yeah.
9th. So,
Oh,
but
that's right.
they're all there,
Yeah.
everything's there. But we ended pickleball last of November, just because of everything that goes on during the holidays. We skipped over December, early January. So we just started our program
And
on Tuesday.
how was it? And how is the facility to be using the ping pong?
So 2 ping pong tables fit there.
Two tables, very comfortably, you know, you're not running into each other. We could probably get a third in there, but I don't see
You
it.
think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could.
At this point, we don't need it.
We don't need it.
So if you, let's say the 2 tables, you fold them up, there's a place for them and all that?
I put them in the kitchen.
Put them in the kitchen
And
and
then
there's a
when
lock on
Zach
the
comes
kitchen
to
door now.
clean,
Kitchen and doors
he
locked?
pulls
with
every,
gas?
yes, there is a lock on that
Okay,
door.
awesome.
So when Zach comes to clean, he just pulls everything out.
And for now, the paddles and nets are in the lockbox.
I have them in the lockbox, we have all the pickleball equipment.
Yeah.
in the kitchen.
So I think we've kind of discouraged.
Usage
The
that's
riffraffs?
unauthorized.
Like us?
Well, no, but see, that's another piece though. If two ping pong tables are sitting there, then someone's gotta go in and play ping pong. Is
Yeah.
that a bad thing?
It isn't.
And I
But
don't
we do have
always
to
get
break
there
it
right at
down,
1 o'clock
because
to break it down.
there's yoga and there's an exercise class in there, so there's gotta be, and it
Yeah, I can't
literally
just leave
takes
it
5
up.
minutes to set up.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had 5 today. Jim
So
Grant showed up too.
do you do the same process throughout the summer? Like, will you guys be doing, you'll be outside for pickleball, correct? And how about your exercise courses and stuff like that? Does that go all summer long?
Yeah, they're all year long.
So what happens with, is it possible to, I guess the question is it possible to have the ping pong tables available for people to use? And then the other question is it a problem to do that? I mean,
To leave them out
Yeah.
would be a problem,
Okay.
just because of the Monday, Wednesday exercise programs.
Yeah.
I
But-
think this is just like anything else. We need
You need
we
someone.
need someone to open and close.
Right.
A, to get the doors open,
Yeah.
and B, to
Pull
put things
everything,
away
all the equipment out.
to put things away properly, because it's the same problem we're gonna have with pickleball, is we've got nets.
Yeah.
If you don't roll that net right, then it's like a fisherman, spending 20 minutes untangling his line before you can start. If you put them away right,
No problem.
I'm not being defensive, it's just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the element
Yeah.
that's in play, is
Yeah.
we could leave that door open and let people play, which I think is fabulous. There were actually kids there in the parking lot today, and they came in to use the bathroom and stuff, and, you know, they were very respectful, but I was like, oh, wait a minute.
But they might have wanted to just grab the paddles and play.
Yeah, because we were thinking of leaving at one point, and I said, well, all right, well, we'll see. But.
I do think there has to be some, at
Well,
some point.
There's gotta be adult supervision.
At one point, we asked the administration if we could access I forget the name of the program, where some of our seniors can, in lieu of taxes, or reduced taxes.
Senior
do-
property tax
senior-
abatement.
Yeah. They could work and do something. At one point, it was to clean, to supervise, whatever.
It's a program we
And that
still
was
have, but that could be,
And that would be going through the Council on
Yep.
Aging.
Yep.
So, let's
Well, but I'm
muddle
not
this
sure
through.
this is Cindy's problem. I
No, no,
understand. But
we
if
have to
Dave, if
use-
Dave wanted to go play ping pong from 6 to 8 every
Yeah.
night, or 6 to 8 every Wednesday night, if we had a senior or someone just sitting at the door.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But to access it, you have to go through COA. You're the gatekeeper of the
for the
program.
program, senior
Yeah.
property tax abatement.
Oh, you are?
So
Yeah,
they,
you
yeah,
are.
they have to come through me, we have to get them approved from the assessor,
All right,
this
on
paperwork.
my master wish list, that would be the recreation director.
Yes.
Well, and then we can't do that until we have a separate budget. We can't do it until next year now.
I've got years left to my service.
Yeah, and you're in charge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because that simplifies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, no one gets along with, well, probably people get along better with Cindy than I do, but we work very well together.
We do work well.
And I think the ultimate ultimate goal is that, as much as it benefits Cindy to have stuff go through Council on Aging, she wants to get pickleball time next year at 9 to 11 for 2 days, perhaps a third day, which we'll call Beginner's Day, which I totally support.
Yeah.
If we could hire a professional, someone to actually go over and do the beginner's pickleball instruction for a fee,
Yep.
which brings us back around to the old business of how are we gonna collect fees for things?
Yep.
But I take the other 2 days for the rec department to have pickleball. And again, so if there was someone that came and opened and closed, and it was their job.
Or better yet, even simplified, having that equipment available for all the residents, Tuesday nights pickleball for town residents.
Absolutely.
And that's what we,
This is.
Because who sets it up?
This is the
That's
beaten
who sets it
path,
up,
this is the
exactly.
beaten path you're talking about. If that's so, and whether we get a jar to throw $1 in or whatever it is, I think that's the way Georgetown works, it's $1. Just put it in a pickle jar.
out. But yeah, the idea is, it'd be great to have somebody available to make our resources available to the general public at specific hours.
It should be.
And this is easy now, because we're talking about 9 to 11 in the morning.
Right.
If we go out and grab the basketball court from 6 to 8, there's gonna be some pushback. So I don't think you can say we're gonna do that 7 nights a week.
Right, we just, again, having somebody there, this night we have one court, we
Yeah.
reserve it. There's a representative from the town, paid or not, to say this is for it. So we're on the same page. It's just a matter of how do we get there.
The tax thing, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it's
With
right
zero-
there.
Yeah, well, with no outflow of funds.
Outflow of funds, helping somebody who needs it, flexible hours. Interested?
Oh, you have to be 60.
How old?
60, I believe.
Or above, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's the senior property tax abatement.
I could use it, trust me.
There you go.
Can I get
You
retroactive?
could come apply.
Can I get
I'll
ret-
consider
can I
your
get
application.
retroactive for like?
No, you can't
all
get
the-
retroactive.
All the days like scrubbing the courts so
Yeah,
they
right.
retain them? Yeah. Yikes.
I had a victim, but no.
So yeah, let's continue to pursue how to make more of our resources available to the
I mean, the
public at large.
ping pong tables are there.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that,
Well, it'd be like an after-school program.
Right.
Having an adult work with the high school or elementary
I
school.
mean, at that point, like on the 2 days that I have it, we have it technically till 1. We just leave it.
Yeah.
That person comes and all they have to do is put it away.
So this adds to your list of problems though, because you'd have to wrangle the senior who's might be out someday or we're gonna find.
Well, so that's the
coverage.
thing.
Well, we
we
just
just
say
don't,
it's not
yeah,
available.
it's not available. Yeah, that's.
You know, I know when they had people work in town hall, they're sick, they, you
Yeah.
know, sorry.
That could happen with a rec director.
Yeah,
That's true.
So,
you know, and we just put notice out, sorry, and it's not a babysitting
no,
class, it's not a person to supervise and has authority to ask people to leave and, you know, protect our investment.
All right, well, let's try to open that rec director situation. That won't come about until next year
Well, that's
because
if it's paid, but if we did it through the
senior
council
property
aid,
tax.
to property tax, we have an adult who tends to have more availability.
Okay.
If it's, they're supervising, not, well,
They're not supervising.
they're not supervising.
They're sitting and enjoying. a
I'm just
couple hours.
wondering, like, if they have to go through a Cory check. and
Yes, I
get
do run a
involved
Cory.
in-
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's,
Part of the paperwork.
got it.
Awesome.
Someone said today that in ping pong, if someone goes around and picks up the balls on the ground, you don't pick them up.
Oh, it is, we could do that.
What?
There's a bar in Boston that does that. You just play and the ball hits
You
the
play
ground
and the ball-
the guy picks
And
it up.
then
ball boy, yeah.
someone said it, and I started thinking about it. I said, you spend more time when you're playing ping pong chasing the ball around.
Yeah, but if you don't pick it up, is someone gonna trip on it?
That's what I said, but it's like,
You step on it, you break it.
no, if anything's in,
Yeah, if you played against me,
God, I don't
you'd be constantly at
They'd
fault.
be out, yeah, they'd be out on Central Street, because
I destroy it. I'm just
Alright, well, I
kidding.
don't care if you
I'm just
break the ball, cause
Well,
I can
this
buy
just-
more balls,
this
but I don't
goes
want
further.
someone to,
Yeah.
This
right?
goes further to the battle of the committees, or the battle of the boards. You know, we're gonna have a big pickleball committee, firefighters versus
Yeah,
policemen, and we'll have rec committee. We could probably win the rec.
Well, the Council on Aging does have a lovely cornhole set, so we are working on police versus COA. So
Yeah, and-
maybe we get the rec committee.
You don't even wear sneakers. I can't even get you to wear sneakers, so I can't try to convince you.
you know, going a little off topic along ping pong and activities, if we were to purchase 4 sets and leave them out there, so the kids who are using the playground, again, giving options for people to.
4 sets of what?
Cornhole.
Oh, yeah, that's.
You know, they're not that expensive.
Well, it depends where you go.
Yeah, it's true, there, yeah.
I bet you we could ask,
Could probably get Sam Adams ones or something, but I'm not sure that's appropriate.
Well, maybe not for,
You
always paint them.
could, you could do, you know, you could always talk to, the kids are always looking for Eagle Scout projects.
or not necessarily scouts, but other people could do it, yeah.
Yeah, yep. All right.
Boy, no wonder these meetings run long. I'll be quiet for a couple of minutes.
No, it's okay, it's okay, I mean, it's a great idea to have these, I mean, that's what we're here for.
Activities, and that's why it's
It's-
great to have somebody supervising the equipment.
It's best to, like, enjoy doing the stuff than doing
Falling asleep.
policy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait
till they get that
Merging two documents, yeah.
So, yes, policy is 90%, 99% done. So yeah, that's great. And these little adjustments to the policy, we, you know, if we had.
The
something-
tweaks.
Yeah, it's not pulling our hair out, which
No,
we've done
It's not
before.
creating it.
Long, long
I did
events.
hear tell how fun that was for you guys. Kidding.
Okay, master plan update, we already had that, it was
I
a
have a
wonderful
quick
thing.
question of
Go ahead.
the water bottle filler. I'm sorry, I was asking.
Not done yet. I haven't
Has
written
it,
that down.
has it been,
No.
okay, they were going to,
Sorry.
I will give you my response. They were looking at the cost, and I assume they're very busy.
That's DPW, right?
Yep.
Cleaning up trees at this point.
Oh, yeah, obviously not this week.
Center Street dumpster, Central Street dumpster.
You had like a whole list.
I did. I did, I got answers to all of them, but I don't know where it is.
You did, and then didn't you forward it out?
Yep. Yeah, so you, right here, 5th, we approved water bottle, bubbler, filter station, and they said, James will talk with the plumber to see what it'll take to replace a drinking fountain and if it will tie into the existing fixtures. I will send out another note for an update on that, and then I'll also discuss locking the dumpsters so that we don't have snowmen in there.
crushed snow.
Sorry, you started it. I heard a giggle that end, and I just,
I think he was probably in a snowbank supervising.
He was just
Deal with
minding his
flowing
own
dumpsters.
business. He was-
And he got nailed.
yeah.
sorry.
No, I'm just thinking for, like, even though it's January, it's spring pretty much.
Right?
Until March.
And speaking of things at the field
Yeah,
house, too,
over.
the flagpole that's gone now, is that, whose purview is
gone.
that gonna be?
What do you mean it's gone?
It's gone.
They cut it down,
They
it was
cut-
bent.
The thing was
Blown
like,
over, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
from that
I-
other storm,
See, I don't go there, and I should. I had a little thing, and I just voided myself from all responsibilities of that, because I had a thing for the town. And, yeah, so,
I thought you had a dog, though.
no, I don't get to talk
Oh.
there. Dude, you're not supposed to have dogs in the field. There's a sign right there that says no dogs in the field. I follow the rules. There's one,
Come play ping pong.
I will, I will.
During the day?
No, but
Oh.
I can,
Can you
You could make
You wanna volunteer at night to sue?
I have a property tax opening.
I'd show at night. I'd bet most of your age, too, but that's only after I get my spot.
Yeah.
Retroactive.
Yes, yeah, so the door's locked, right? Kitchen door locked,
Kitchen
that
door
was,
locked,
that was,
yes.
a-
Kitchen
that
door
was-
is, yeah,
Check.
so that's perfect,
the door for the bathrooms is open,
all right, which is
so
what
which
we
is what we
wanted to
wanted,
do.
so
Yeah,
that's
what we
working.
wanted.
Okay,
That's good.
and should we amend that for the winter months, or is that?
I think he did it, because
Yeah.
we had it later for
Yeah.
the summertime, but I think
I think
James
there was something
adjusted
he
it.
was
It
gonna
said
change it.
7 AM to close at 6 since it gets dark early.
Okay.
And then it says we can adjust the time in the spring.
So that's cool.
And we're on our way.
Yeah, we are, slowly but surely.
Yeah, I like the idea of incorporating, I mean, we've got, us old folks taken care of, but I'd like to, the idea of having the availability of that building for kids to go and play ping pong and stuff like that. And it'd be great, like you say, to have a senior there that's getting some kind of discount to oversee the place. And then we have, a community center, more or less, which is the idea of that place.
I like that word.
Yep, town people paid for it, so
Let 'em use
they
it.
should use it.
Absolutely.
All right, anything else everyone wants to talk about? Snowmen?
Next meeting,
Next meeting.
date?
Let's have one.
Oh yeah, before we close up, I just, Ben's not here, and I might have said this last time, but I think we just came off right. It's been great working with all you guys. It's been really easy, except for Mark, because we've worked together way too long. But it's been great, having a good group of people to work with every week.
Wait, are you leaving?
No?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Oh.
No, I just, it was the end of the year last year, and I was gonna say something, but I
Oh,
thought it was
You
just.
made us nervous.
No, I just thought it was, I thought it was
Exit speech.
amazing, I thought it was amazing that,
There's Bill Belichick?
we had,
One day.
we had a really good,
Too
good
much
group,
for one day.
a good group of people that, worked well together, and, I feel like we got a lot done.
Yeah.
So, it was nice, so, that's the only thing I would say.
February 5th, if room is available.
6 o'clock?
Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah, that sounds perfect. So here's a question, because Cindy may know, or someone may know, we want to keep those. I don't know where the best place to put those.
So I have the last ones, so now that I have these updated ones, I can get rid of the last ones, if you want me to keep that document,
Yes.
Yeah, the,
and I'll keep those.
yeah,
in
that
my
would be great.
office.
Yeah, but we're nice to like put them out there somehow.
For
Yeah.
public display.
Maybe at the library.
You could have.
Yeah,
Is this available on the
He
rec
said
committee
that-
website?
He said that he was gonna email it to us.
Did
This-
he but he said he already emailed it, so is it something that we should put on the website?
I think we should, yes, definitely,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Dave, could you ask the town administrator? Because I assume that's where his
John,
copy
the
went.
IT guy.
ask.
Put
Tony.
the,
This,
PDF
so
of the proposal.
Yeah,
this should be received electronically, and if it wasn't, I don't know if it was sent out to everyone.
I don't-
I didn't get it.
I don't think I got it, but,
Alright,
well, would you, for the meantime, I can hold that.
Yeah.
And I can hold those, and if you decide that, if you get approval to bring them to the library, let me
I feel
know.
like the library would be a good spot.
Yeah, probably more.
Or,
yeah.
people can always come into the council on aging, because we're right there, a lot of people come in for town hall
Or the
business.
field house, no, just.
I was wondering if there was a space
No,
for the
there's no
field
space
house.
at the field house.
We could have the snowman point to it.
Those self-service, or not self-service, the self-service windows sort of in the kitchen, is that big enough or too big for that at the field house? Too big?
I think the library would be
window
better with
windows.
people coming and going versus,
People would see it more.
All right,
yeah. If we had multiple copies, that would be great, but if we only have the one.
so I'm gonna talk to Tracy and say that I'm just gonna send her unless she,
The
I
rec-
assume that she might actually have already got that. She might be first on the list for that, but I will let her know about that and then discuss putting that at the library.
And then in the November meeting, we mentioned sending this over to the select board, so what's our next steps with that?
Absolutely.
I think we make a motion to forward our,
But we did in November, I'm sorry, I just missed last time, so.
Well, wait, but that would, I mean, certainly we'll wanna share it, but do we wanna say we voted on this and approved it? Or do we wanna, we wanna share, we wanna be transparent, but
right?
do we wanna say ixnay on the volleyball court until?
This
Well,
is the
every-
concept.
Yeah,
This
everything
is
is
a
a
concept,
concept.
it's
So
not-
what we did was essentially paid him, or Huntress Associates, to give us a blueprint for the future. So I don't know if it's something, I think that everyone should know about it, including the selectmen, select board. But I think the idea is until, like, when we decide, okay, we're doing the tot lot, or we wanna do the tot lot, then we go that direction.
I
But
thought that's what we voted on in October, that we said that we wanted to bring the tot lot to the select board. Am I mistaken? I'm sorry.
I think we were waiting on prices and what exactly we were gonna do. Cause,
Yeah, I remember it different.
okay,
Let's see.
I know that the price of this, what he gave us for estimates.
Yeah, because they're estimates, because we don't even know, my understanding was that we have to, if you
Yep,
will,
yep.
move it to the select
Yep.
board so that they can vote on it. We're not saying this is exactly what we wanna do, we just wanna move the process along so that grants can be written and we can get
My understanding
stuff
is,
moving along.
in the interest of getting started on utilizing the ARPA funds, it was imperative that we have an overall plan for that property. Not saying that everything there is gonna be built at any one time, that there may be other places that some of this stuff can go, but in general concept, here's an idea, and partly so that we don't put something in a place that
Correct.
we can't do it. So here's a concept
Mhm.
that anything that we do to the property needs to go through the
Select
select
board.
board to
Correct.
approve it. So my suggestion is that we bring this to the, I believe you're correct, that we said we're gonna forward this to the select board. At this juncture, we can say we've reviewed it, we like the concept, we want to forward it to the select board for their acceptance of the plan, not necessarily the specifics, and that we can then move forward with accessing, determining what the next steps were, but they are aware of it, they've approved our concept.
So they've approved our
No,
concept.
they have out, to the best of my knowledge, they have not addressed anything in this nature.
Nope.
And we
Okay.
need to go
That was my
formally
question.
give them, here is the work that's been presented to us, that we have looked at it.
So it's best that you keep that information, so if one of us has to go before the
We'll have
select
it.
board,
It'll
that
be
we will have that.
It'll be in
But
house
if you
here.
can get this on the website,
Yeah.
at least everyone can.
Yeah,
That's
you
what we
can
have,
do-
and the PDF can go to the different members,
Yeah.
so that we can schedule a meeting.
So how does that get to?
So do
the
you guys have
select-
We
to
just
vote
vote
on
on
that?
it, we just vote on it.
Okay,
And I think we already vote on it?
we did already.
So it says,
So
it says, this is the November meeting, Mark made a motion to bring the current concept with stipulations that some things may change to the select board with knowledge that playground is a priority, and it was seconded by me.
Okay, awesome,
So
we'll
we
do
bring it
that.
forward, this is,
That's
So does that mean, so you're bringing
So,
that-
yeah, so we'll do-
I just wanna understand the
Yeah,
process.
so what we'll do, I will talk to Alicia or Tracy and say, hey, this is what we wanna do. We wanna bring forward our poster board here, and we'll send the PDF and just give them an idea of what we've come up with, what we, what the cost, what we paid money for. And this is what the overall plan is for the future.
and if we need to present, or if we need to have Chris come back to, if that is required of the select board, or if they are satisfied with the work that we've done, due diligence that we have, and the time we spent, if they want to just look at it and work on it, that'll be up for the chairperson to decide. And if they need any of us who are pressed out, they'll
Yeah, we'll
forward
probably-
to us.
So how
What-
do we get that on the select board agenda?
We just,
You'll just
yeah.
do
He'll
that.
talk to
yeah,
Alicia,
yeah.
she'll figure out the time and,
Yeah, and if I have to go in and present, we do that. Or you can do
I'll
present.
do that.
Or John. John's gonna be the master. It was a recreation master? Is that what
Director,
you said?
director.
Extraordinaire.
Yeah,
Director extraordinaire.
Snowman.
Okay, all right, so
Snowman.
we don't have to really vote on that because it's been
Yeah, it's
voted
already
on.
voted on.
We've already picked the time, which is,
The 5th at 6.
what is it, the 6th?
The fifth
The
and
5th at
sixth.
6.
The 5th at 6.
If you want to come here on the 6th at 5, that's.
But you're gonna miss the fifth and sixth.
I'm not,
When you with Tracy, can you poke her on the off-campus pickleball?
oh, yeah, I will. I think she was perplexed by that.
Yeah, I haven't heard, I mean, I can certainly.
Yeah, I think she was perplexed on the whole idea, but I didn't think she had dismissed it.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I took
yeah.
that as good news.
Yeah.
I don't know, we probably never talked about it, this honestly would take 2 minutes. Pickleball people were looking for an indoor place. All the indoor facilities fill up very quickly, so like you can't play pickleball in Newburyport. So a couple of them found a gym that could be used for pickleball, but there's an insurance requirement, so if the town sponsored the event,
But this is outside of Newbury.
it's outside of Newbury, it's in Newburyport. And so, I mean, there's a couple of wrinkles here, but I saw it as
Possibly.
a possibility, but also something that you throw out there as
It's an option.
it's an option.
Yeah.
You know, just like if we wanted to rent ice time at Governor Dummer,
Yeah.
how do we do that?
Yeah, we were talking once years ago about, there was a
Ski,
swimming.
go
yeah,
skiing
yeah,
at,
there was-
in Bradford.
Bradford,
that
yeah,
kind
it was
of, off-site
Yeah.
recreation department activities.
We talked about that, you wanted to do the adult swim or something at a Raleigh.
Yeah, utilizing the YMCA at one point, the.
Out of town.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't have to
All right,
phrase this as pickleball, just like what is
Yeah.
the possibility of us
All right.
as a rec department.
All right, I'll put that out.
And the other thing would be Mark's thing about the line item, if we really do need a line item in the
That's-
budget. Yeah,
That can't happen until next year, next fiscal year.
Yeah, they'll have to go to town
well,
meeting.
yeah, come through town meeting, yeah, sure. No, I'm not looking for it to happen overnight, but yeah.
2020, well, it's been ongoing for
Yeah.
years.
So this is the 23-24 budget, the 24-25 budget is what we'd like to have a line item.
It's budget season now, so.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why
Well,
I
that-
didn't want to let it slide.
Yeah, that had to be done by, what Tracy told me originally a while back was, had to be done by November. To put the request in.
Did we put the request in? Okay, and that's the question?
Yeah, it was fine.
We'll just funnel the
So it'll be next.
money go to Cindy.
Yeah.
So next November, this coming November.
You don't collect fees, do you?
For what?
Activities.
No, I don't charge for anything. We have certain programs that you pay an instructor directly, like a watercolor
For
class,
materials
for
or something,
materials
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
instruction, but
And that
almost,
money goes
yeah.
directly to
All of
the-
our programs, we use our budget
No, but I'm curious, does money go to like the instructor or it goes
directly to
through
the
you
instructor.
and?
No, I don't touch it. So those participants pay the instructor directly.
And then that way
I'm out of it.
you're out of it.
My prior experience with the town is anything to do with cash, they wanted to come in here, get deposited and then write a check going out.
We don't do that.
Because it's individual to individual.
Okay.
Anyway.
Everyone is done,
Mhm.
you think?
Motion to,
Motion to, yeah, go, I'll let you do the final motion.
motion to adjourn at, what's it,
7:20.
2.
Who
Not a
second
record.
that?
Second.
All right, get in there. There we go.
All right.
shut this off.